It was something that I was looking at for quite a long time. Obviously, everyone wants to reduce their costs, especially in today's time with the rising energy costs alongside everything else. So super interested in solar. It's clean energy, good for the environment, lower energy bill.
I had a conversation with my wife about getting our house greener. We're currently living in a new build which is already green, but I felt like the next extra step for us was to go with the solar panels.
So we have looked at it for a while now. Switching to a renewable source of energy, it helps us reduce costs on long term, and it covers us when it comes to inflation. We don't rely on energy providers. We can have our own sources. We can manage costs better.
We switched to solar because we were quite keen to get off the grid, quite keen to save lots on our bills. We just bought this house and we also installed a heat pump as well. And as that uses electricity, we thought, well, if we can generate more electricity using solar, we'll save even more money and contribute as well to the environment.
So we wanted to go solar for several reasons. Primarily wanted to try and do our bit for the environment. Also, we were hoping to save on our energy bills, which had steadily climbed up the last few years. It also appealed to us, perhaps if we ever sell the property, that we think it's obviously quite appealing, particularly in this kind of area. There's quite a lot of goodwill to doing your best for the environment, basically.
My wife had been interested in getting solar for some time, and the more I looked into it, the more it looked like a good idea, and so we followed through with it. We had first started looking at getting solar a number of years ago. The cost was a bit prohibitive. I was still working, the children were that much younger, it just didn't seem to be financially viable at the time. I got older, money became different, and so it became doable.
If I had any tips for anyone looking to get solar, I'd say consider your battery size, maybe spec quite a large battery based on your consumption, because you're rarely going to regret having a battery that's too large. And then just make sure you look at the holistic, the big picture to do with maybe transition to an electric car and your general consumption.
If I was to advise anybody that was considering getting a solar system installed, I'd say certainly go ahead with it. You need to understand the proposals. That is, for me, it was the real big thing. You need to understand exactly what you're letting yourself in for. But yeah, I'd certainly recommend it to people. So
my recommendations for people who are looking to switch to install solar panels will be to do their research, find out what can be fitted, how efficient the solar panels are for their roof. The battery, they have to think about, do they have to install a battery or not? How much do they save by having the battery? The size of the battery is another thing that to consider. And also the warranties of the system, when do they need to replace it or not?
The main advice I'd give someone considering switching to solar is to ensure that your proposal and design meets the specific needs of your property, so that you'll generate enough energy for it to be actually worth the switch.
There is no harm if you're interested in solar and want to know what Sunsave is all about. There's no harm in giving you guys a call, reaching out, and there's no obligation, there's no pressure as such, and it's a good conversation to be had. So even if you don't go with Sunsave and just curious for future purchase, it still gives you enough information to help aid in that potential decision.
I think if I had one advice is don't think too much about it. I mean, like, just if you feel like it's the right choice and the right time, just do it.